Griffin Halsey is a hunter famous across the galaxy, best known for his strange and unusual hunts. Griffin has merchandise, films, and comics about him. But when Cabot invited him to join the greatest hunt of his life, Griffin abandoned his current task and joined the ship on their way as a planet tamer. Tier 2 trapper, Griffin is armed with his Gauss SMG, his harpoon gun, sound spikes, and the planet scanner. The Gauss SMG is a simple, fully automatic mid-range weapon. The spread is minimal. It deals around 20 damage, although I have had cases where it deals 19 per shot. The SMG has 36 bullets in a single clip. The harpoon gun fires a single harpoon that lasts as long as the fire button is held down and latches to a character. It can be broken by being pulled through the environment too much, letting go of the mouse button, or a basic attack from the monster while it faces you. It is very important to have your feet on the ground while the harpoon is active. If Griffin is in the air while the harpoon is lashed, there will be no stopping effect from the harpoon. For most monsters, with the exception of the behemoth, the harpoon can give a complete negation to any traversal so long as the monster is going in the opposite direction of Griffin. If the monster is traveling towards Griffin, the harpoon will have no effect. In addition, the harpoon stopping power does not care the distance or direction you are going relative to the monster. Very often I will be walking towards the monster or circle strafing around it in order to make sure I am angled properly or can keep my distance within the monster while having him harpooned. Moving towards the monster does not impact your ability to slow him with the harpoon. Moving away from the monster does not increase the pull effect of the harpoon. The sound spikes are a simple tool. They are deployable, which can have up to 3 on the ground at any time. They cover an area, and when the monster moves through them, they give a little notification on the screen indicating his distance from the hunter, as well as the direct line of sight towards him. They update every few seconds, unless the monster destroys the sound spikes or leaves its radius. When tracing with Griffin, it is very important to keep the harpoon at the ready and make sure you are able to be on the ground when necessary. This allows you to keep the monster slowed as much as possible while staying on its back. In general, I walk when the harpoon is active and boost while it's not. This allows my boost to regenerate when I am harpooning, and I can keep the effectiveness of the harpoon, but then I can keep the speed of the boost afterwards. One mistake I often see is using the harpoon when it is not effective. Here I'm trying to keep the monster off our support, but because the support is pinned into a corner, the harpoon does nothing. Instead, what I should have been doing is getting maximum damage in order to punish the monster the best I can. Again, I do the same mistake where instead of dropping the harpoon when necessary, I allow the abilities to go off without any effectiveness on the harpoon. One very important thing to be aware of is your positioning as well as your teammates' positioning. Here I'm set up because the only way I can be useful to my team is if the monster leaves, and so I prepare for that. Unfortunately, I'm in the air when I go for the harpoon, so that doesn't allow me to save Hank from those bursts. Abusing a monster's tunnel vision is one of the strongest things a Griffin can do. Here the monster loses probably half of his available damage just by me holding him in place, as well as takes massive punishment from the orbital laser. Positioning myself behind him and so that the monster is between us and his focus allows me to give an excellent save onto our assault and get almost the game-winning fight.
Running low on heals.
Another important thing to be aware of is your reload speed on the harpoon. This is why I use a weapon switch so often, because it's able to abuse the passive reload within the game. Harpooning, shooting, and repeat as often as possible allows you to both protect your teammates and deal the damage necessary to win the game. Griffin's greatest strength is his ability to deny traversals, continue the chase, and interrupt abilities as they are moving towards allies. He's particularly strong against the Goliath due to his ability to interrupt leap smash, charge, and all 3 of the monster's traversals if timed correctly.
From inside the house.
He's strong against Wraith for his ability to interrupt the warp blast as well as hold the Wraith in place for high punishment. Griffin is also very strong with both forms of Hank due to the aerial bombardments from the laser or the barrage, which can be set up with a combo. And he is very good at chasing because of his ability to interrupt the traversals. When playing Griffin, be sure to position yourself well and coordinate with your team in order to take full advantage of your abilities.
item switch, or I would have shot him and it would have been over.
Thank you for joining me for the key to playing Griffin. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, or send me a message. I'll do my best to answer.
He might die to his poison. Oh, he's eating right now.
That'd be hilarious if it did.
Nope, he got armor.
If you cut right, I'll follow behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick on him, just in case.
I love the new jetpack empty sound.
That was an
Yeah.
illusion, I just... He jumped on
That's fine, I'm letting him.
Found it.
3 seconds.
Is that it? Oh god, I think he gave up.
Hunters win.